Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Nomadic Survival here in Space Engineers. So, the plan today. Well, the plan is based off what happened in the last video. And if you haven't watched the last video, I'd highly recommend you check it out. Some crazy stuff happened. Most importantly, we got attacked. Basically attacked from every side. We got attacked by a base, we got attacked by a ship, we tried to shoot down a ship, ship left, the ship reappeared, things scary happened. I was not set up to fight these things. Don't get me wrong, this vehicle has weapons, but 90% of the weapon systems were not online. I literally just had the 8 artillery turrets. But since the end of last video, I have set up all of the Gatling turrets, all of the autocannon turrets. As you may be able to notice, we have got all of the turrets built. And it took so long. So long, in fact, that I decided to make a montage. So, you may be asking yourself, well, you've just built all them turrets and stuff, what's related to this video? You know, you said it was related to being attacked and stuff, so what's happened here? That. You guys have been screaming at me since I've basically built this platform saying, I want to see the turret, build the big turret! So in today's video, we're building the big turret. And I'm not building any ordinary turret. No. I could build a railgun turret. I could build an artillery turret, so you know it has 2 kilometers of range. If I wanted to build something a bit smaller, maybe. If I go in. Where is weapons there? You know, I could So I've got the artillery, I've got the railguns. The only other large grid would be like the rockets, so you know, it'd be down to 800 meters, or I could just fling a load of fireworks at them. So you know, not amazing. I could go small grids, and then in the end go for something like actually, wait. I swear one of these had, yeah. I could just shove a crazy amount of the assault cannons on and get 1400 meters, but no, we're not doing any of that. We are, in fact, going nuclear, which is not nuclear in any way, because it is warheads aren't nuclear. They're not nuclear bombs. They're just explosive bombs. Yeah, we're building missiles because I can attack a target which is I can lock onto a target that's 2 kilometers away, but I can fling a missile way further than that. And as long as the missile gets within 2 kilometers at some point of the enemy, it'll home and attack them. So we're building a rotary missile flinging platform. Yes. And if you enjoyed that kind of content, make sure you subscribe. We have just past 3,900. So less than 100 to go and we get to 4,000. And at 4,000, I have some secret surprises. So if you want to find out what them secret surprises are, make sure that you subscribe. You send your friend to subscribe. You get your nana to subscribe. Get your parents to subscribe and all your friends. And you'll find out what the exciting stuff is. Okay, that's my rambling. I'm hyper today. So we need to do a couple of things. I want to get that broken, that. And whilst we're doing all this, I want to. Oh, I'm going to turn. Oh no, it's going to pre-build it all. No. Nope. Projectile off. Good. I forgot that would happen. I just want to thank you guys all for the support that you've had for this series. It means the world to me. I set this channel up in some ways as a bit of a joke. I wanted to do something, but I wasn't sure really what. I didn't really think this channel would go anywhere. I thought, you know, after a couple of weeks I'll just ditch it and we'll move on. You guys have been amazing. The community we've got around Space Engineers and allowing me to play the games I love, it's amazing. So I want to thank you all. I'm here to stay, shall we say. Oops, that's not what I wanted to get rid of. As long as I don't break the wrong thing, we're fine. And is it dangerous putting the shooty thing right below the explosive thing? Yes, probably, but it's fine. I have plans. Now, I very, very briefly looked at something in a creative test world and went, that's a good idea. And instead of like being a smart human being and actually like fully building it to see if it'd work, I went, yeah, let's just do it. And let's click the record button, so. Yeah, that's what smart people do, isn't it? Something like that, I don't know. So, we've got a couple of things I want to get done. I'm lowering down the rotor, just so it's a bit more, lower down, so I can build it up and build it a bit more armoured. So what I'm actually wanting to do at the moment is basically push it across like this at a T-junction, and then push it like that, add a T-junction, and then add a elbow piece like that, and add a rotor. And you know what? Here's another question for you guys. Would you want to see me do other games on this channel. So I've done different games in the past, and they've never really done as well as Space Engineers, because obviously my community is mainly around Space Engineers. But I do like playing the games. I'm not saying play another game and do a series, because I don't want to commit myself to it, but you know, the odd video here and there, would that interest you? I guess it would depend on what video, but I don't know, I just feel like doing a more videos around could be quite fun. I have built the wrong type of block. I built a rotor where I want to build an advanced rotor. Good. Okay, so that is the rotation. I guess I then want a hinge. And that will give me my... let's put it facing forward. Remove that. And then add a small head. And actually, whilst we're building this, so obviously I showed a montage of me building these, or setting up all of these. If you guys want an actual detailed video dedicated to how you use the current script I'm using and actually set up turrets like this, I've learned a lot. There's not much content out there to sort of do it. It's not too complicated to learn, but if you guys wanted to set something like this up, the script I'm using is very, very cool for that exact reason. Or to do what I'm trying to do, so... Maybe I'll make a video on it. So, I want to... I basically want to build a big... You know what? Let's do something I haven't done in ages. I'm actually going to go into a software where I can do a little sketch to get you an idea of what I want to do. I want to do this kind of stuff more often, so give me a second. And yes, by a drawing software, I 100% mean Microsoft Paint. Yes. Yes. Okay, so the basic idea is we have some kind of circle-looking thing, which actually is a load of God, it's a lot harder to draw with a mouse than I remember. So it's a load of different blocks which are 90 degrees off from each other at the four corners. Yeah, well, I should have just... Yeah, let's do this. Yes. The artistic flares are flaring. And I'm sure I've probably already put a message at the top of the screen saying, hey, if you don't want to watch me struggle, skip to here, where I've stopped drawing. But you guys are watching, so, you know, you must be entertained. Are you not entertained? Let's make it a nice 3... Ooh, I did not mean to do that, but that's fun. 3D. Oh, yeah. See, this is why you guys watch me. For the pure entertainment in amazing sketches. Like, oh. You know, are you not absolutely just on the edge of your seat for pure dedication? Cool. Right, so this is going to be on some kind of pivot, right? So that means it can... Yeah, so this thing here can pivot both that way as well as round and round, right? So from a side perspective, if I wanted to, it could look if this was the ground. Do something like that. You can look up and down. So the rotor, let's say, goes here. And then we've got the hinge sits on top. So my plan is to add some kind of thing which sort of sits a little bit like this, which holds it. And then it's going to basically be 4 stages. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is where the missile fires out from. This is where the missile gets projected. So the missile is shimmery. The missile has fired with its little booster and its little spiky nose. This is where the missile's getting fueled up. And this is basically when it's just the next one to fire. So stage 1 is fire. Stage 2 is build. Stage 3 is fuel. Is that how you spell fuel? Yeah, good enough. Stage 4 is ready. Right? So that's basically that. And yeah. I think it's simple. It's not going to be very armored, so I probably am going to want to put some kind of braces into its like here. Sort of thing. Cut in the corners. But something like that. And then it's just, you know, every couple of seconds it'll rotate and fire up a load of missiles. Is that a good idea? I think that's an interesting idea. I guess one thing I could do, right, is we could alternate them between warheads and decoys. You know? So it's a warhead, it's a decoy, it's a warhead, it's a decoy. Maybe? I don't know. Or maybe just all warheads. Also, do you like my amazing drawing skills? I'm really good. Anyway, let's get back to the game. And here we are back in the game. So yeah, I want to do a sort of big bowl shape so it can have the pivot. So that's the next part. So okay. And we just need to make sure that the whole conveyor system is going to work. The advantage is the only conveyor size we need is small. Because we're not transporting any components. Because I'm probably going to build all of this using the build and repair system. Obviously, I could set up a couple of welders, but we have build and repair. Or I could even add a dedicated build and repair system just for this. But no, I don't need to. Okay. So the... I guess I can't show it easily, but I've got the missile. So I built this off camera. I spent a bit of time and actually built a missile, and I think it is 7 blocks long. No. 9 blocks long. So that's fine. Right. Let's put the advanced rotor here. So this is what's going to do the actual cycling between each stage. Let's align it like that. And then what we're going to do is do some blast doors. Going forward and back like that. Good. And I could technically have more stages, right? So I've obviously got the cross pattern where I do this. I could technically add a hinge onto either that block or that block and angle it out and have an extra set. But I don't think I'll need it. And the more subgrids I have for these mechanisms, the more projectors I'm going to need to make sure that everything actually builds properly or keeps repaired. So yeah, I think I'm not going to bother with that. As for actual building, see, it'd be good if I actually remembered where. I think it was like the front. So, because I need to make. So, I have a merge block and a small grid connector. So the connector is to fuel it, the merge block is to keep it locked until it's ready to fire. I need to make sure I push them out far enough, but I don't want to have these blocks here because they'll attach to it when it's welding. So yeah. God, there's a lot more to think about, and I am not in the brain capacity to be thinking. Right, so let's build one. Once I've got one, then I'll be able to duplicate it to 4 of them. That's currently what's going through my mind. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That'd be 6, 7, 8. Yeah, okay. So a connector and a merge block. Small merge block. So the nice thing about the 6 thing about the small connectors is they have 90-degree ports. They're very, very handy. So we're going to place one like that. We're going to place one like that. Perfect. And then we're going to place the projector. So we want to make sure the cross is up and the straight line is pointing forward. Projector turret stage 1. I've got an interface here, haven't I? Yes, perfect. So we're going to remove the build and repair. We're going to turn the build and repair system off. We're going to go into projectors, which I've actually removed or hidden a lot of them, as you can probably tell. Very nice. The stage 1 blueprints. I want to get the missile. This one. Here it is. So it's currently facing. I want to yaw it. I want to lift it. That's horizontal, vertical. Lift it. Wait, what? Oh, wonky, are we? Roll. Okay, good. Back a couple. There. That looks good to me. It could technically go one more back. How? So we could have 4 of them. It could go one more back, but it's fine. It doesn't need to go one back. We can work from that. So that's where a missile goes. All the brains on it are actually built into it as well, which is really handy. So I guess a couple of blast doors, or even just one blast door right on the edge. That could be good. And then probably have some blast door runs going right down. I need steel. That's useful. I can probably access through this turret. Can't. My inventory's a mess. That's fine. Line that up like that. I want the straight pieces to build them right up to where the connector is, and then I want the line up the nice metal rims so they're all nice and symmetrical, which is not symmetrical in the slightest because I haven't built it long enough. So like that, and like that. Or do I just build all the way up at this point? As I'm already going that far. I just want it to be strong. That's the main concern. Also, for a design like this, imagine this was at the back of it. How? See, it hasn't. I guess it fires up. If it's directly up, it can just go back on itself. So, yeah, that should be fine. You just aim close enough to it. There's not really an easy way of getting it to be steeper unless you raise up higher, but I don't want it to be a massive thing. How many blocks is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How big does it look? Oh, it's small. It's a lot smaller than this platform. Oh, it's going to be a little guy. Oh, I actually thought it'd be a bit bigger than this. Do I double? No, I'm not doubling. I'm joking. Okay, that's fun. So 5 across in each direction. So we'll turn it off for now. We will need to turn the build and repair back on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think somewhere along this line, possibly second one in. Does that make sense? I think I actually want to add a T-piece down, that way we can have a nice connection point where we can place a heavy armor thing like that. So on the third block in. And 3. And this isn't more of a sort of... I don't usually show the building. I tend to like to do a lot of this off camera, but again, I always get comments saying I want to see you do this, so this is what we're doing. We're dedicating this this video to building this custom turret. So I hope I don't bore you too much with this design. But it is what it is. It's going to be very sleek. Which means I might be able to make this circle slightly smaller. Or do something else as well. Maybe, I don't know. One interesting thing I was thinking of is obviously you have this manual fire one. But it could be quite cool finding some spots to have some silos where they just fire a missile up. That could be cool as a manual fire system. Let me know what you think of an idea like that, because that would turn this thing into like a proper little gunboat. Right, build and repair. In other words, my construction nanites. turn you guys on. You guys should have told me about that mod years ago, even though I already knew about it, and I commented saying, hey, we're not using it for now. See, I love a mod, but it makes you lazy, because it means you don't have to build any type of ship to build. So, you know, you miss out on a bit of the fun. But I fully understand it in terms of for videos. You know? Because it's basically as seamless for me building as it is for you watching. You don't have to watch me. You can just see me place blocks. You don't have to see me weld a million blocks. This is one of my support brackets, so if somehow the inner part, like there, got broken, hopefully something's still attached to one of these things. That's the inner halo. It actually looks quite good, if I do say so myself. See, it's really difficult, right? Because you don't want to build a turret massive for no apparent reason. But I was expecting... when I built this ring, I wasn't expecting to build this thing. I'll say that to begin with. So I made it perfectly big because I was thinking maybe if I'm going to be using a railgun or something, oh, it's going to be massive. And like I said, there was two reasons I haven't gone with a railgun. The first one is railguns require uranium in their shells to fire, and uranium is a bit of a rarer resource on this planet, so it would mean these shells are a bit more expensive. I could have gone with artillery shells, which again have the same kind of problem. They require uranium, so they're expensive. Not really that expensive, but expensive enough in the terms of if I want to fire, you know, hundreds of them. Where flinging missiles, they require a bit of iron, a bit of nickel, and a bit of magnesium in the actual explosives. They require no platinum, no gold, no silver, no uranium, none of that. And they can fly further. So, for me, it was a bit of a win-win situation. As in, it meant that I didn't have to worry about them. About the cost. Don't get me wrong, I've made the missile pretty much as small and resource cheap as I physically can. And so it can work on a planet. Obviously in space it's a little bit easier. But we've got two hydrogen tanks, and we've got them thrusters in each direction apart from racing direct forward. What am I looking for? I can't talk and do stuff apparently. Yeah, so we got thrusters in each direction, apart from braking thrust, because you don't need it for a lock-on missile like this, and I'm sure I'll have people that say you do, and some people that say you don't, but from my testing, you don't. Ooh, I fell off. I like the fact that it can fire, you know, more than the 2 kilometers. Because as long as I fire it in front of a target, and at some point the target gets within 2 kilometers of the missile will lock on. It's also going to be set up with the system so the warheads and stuff on the missiles aren't live until they're away from the Phoenix. So whilst it's on here, the warheads aren't basically on, so they can't explode the Phoenix. It's a bit of a safety thing, basically. Because I don't really want the Phoenix to explode. It's not ideal. I don't think a small warhead on the Phoenix would do that much. But it's more of a point, you know? I don't want to... I'm going to get out of the steel plates from there. That'll do. There we go, steel plates. Yeah, it's not really a case of, oh, it's going to be annoying if it happens. It's more just, I don't want it to happen. Maybe that makes sense, maybe it doesn't. I don't know, I spend all my time just talking to myself. Ugh. Also, we're getting close to the new year. I'm recording this video on the 28th of December. So, actually, that's a good point. I hope everyone had a good Christmas. Yeah, I had a good Christmas. Lots of chilling out with the family, a little bit of drinking. And overall, a good time. So, yeah, I hope everyone had a Christmas, as you know, for those who actually celebrate it, because obviously not everyone does. But, yeah, I certainly had a nice Christmas. So we need that. Yeah, so imagine this transport, right? So it's currently traveling this direction. If I fire it over here, by the time it gets over there, it's probably got within 2 kilometers of it. So it would just lock on and target it. And imagine, you know, flinging one of them every, let's say, 10 seconds. I don't know how long it'll actually take, but yeah, I think this is going to be cool. So I'm going to want a time block one. So if, let's say which way we're going to rotate? I think rotate this way. If that's stage 1, that means this is stage 2, and that goes just behind there. Okay, which means I need to set the projectors up. And I think for now, I'm just going to stick with all warheads, mainly because I haven't built non-warheads. So we're just going to do that. And I haven't actually tested these against a live target, so it might be a case of they just absolutely get destroyed by even light machine gun fire. But I think it's a cool weapon nonetheless. So this is these timer blocks are going to be to cycle each stage. So it's going to be basically wait 5 seconds or 10 seconds or whatever, and then rotate. Wait 10 seconds and rotate. And it will also just toggle on the projectors when it needs to and toggle them off when it doesn't, I guess. I don't know. I haven't really worked that bit out. Okay, so right. Timer block, stage 1. Timer block, stage 2. And I 100% could put these timer blocks, you know, hidden into the Phoenix, but there's, again, not much point. Because if anything on here gets damaged, most likely the whole system stops working, so... Stage 4. Stage 4. Stage 3. Oh, I was feeling a lot like setting up all them turrets, doing the same thing over and over again. Stage 2. This was just stage 1, wasn't it? I called it turrets. Well, I'll set up all the naming stuff later. Again, it's not things I need to show on camera, because it's really, really not exciting. And for anyone who says, "Oh, I would love to watch you name everything for an hour," you are lying. No one in their right mind would want to watch me name things for an hour on end. Or in general, not even it's just about me doing it, it's not an exciting task. You know, there's certain things I'm sure all YouTubers would say, you are not going to find this entertaining, so we do it off camera. We do it off camera for a reason. It'd be helpful if I placed the right type of block. I thought I did that wrong. to get that. I don't know. I don't know how to make this bomb look good. It might be a case of in the next video, hey, I've redesigned this entire turret. But for now, no, I'm going to keep it as it is. So let's turn build and repair off. Also, I wonder how much of this video I've cut out already. I'm sure there's an amount. We're only 25 minutes into the build segment, so actually not too bad. This might be a sub 1 hour video. He laughs. He says, hopeful. Projector. No, I enjoy, well, I don't purposely make them over an hour long just because I'm like, oh, it's the best. It's more of a case of I just don't want to edit everything out. I get a lot of people saying, hey, I want to see how you do each thing. So I feel like I'm not confining myself to having to make it only 20 minutes, make it longer. I'm typing on stage now. Missile. Okay. So what did I do to get these to line up properly? So -2, -4, -180, 90. -2, -2, -4, 180, 90. I'm actually impressed I remembered that. -2, -4, -180, 90. -2, -4, -180, positive 90. So that's the 4 missiles. And I 100% could add. So if I added, 4 more, basically I double the fire rate. That's essentially what that would do, because I would have more stages, so more time to do each thing. But, yeah, it's fine. Also, these missiles are fully, so the blueprints themselves, they're set up to be auto-refilling, to be recharging the batteries, and everything is set up right. So really, as long as they are... The only thing I would have to do on, this timer block when it gets to this stage would be to make sure that, ooh. I'm going to have 2 timer block chains going, aren't I? So I need to have one... So, at each... yes. So this is a timer loop, right? What I've got going on here. But I want a timer loop, and at each stage, it does things. Okay, yeah. So, at stage 1, I want that to fire, I want that to build, I want that to connect to the connector, and I want that one just to stay still. At the next one, I want it to do the same thing, but for the next stage. Okay. How do I do that? Oh, this is actually really complicated. I'm going to mess around to try and see if I can get some stuff working. Right, so I should have got the stage 1 right. So what it should do, if is all good, when I click the trigger button, it should rotate clockwise, it should fire off the missile, it should turn on this projector on projector 2, it should turn off projector 4, which there isn't one on anyway, so that should be fine. And it should also connect a connector, which again isn't important. So basically, it should turn on this projector and it should fire this missile. So let's... I can't wait for this to not work, but we'll set back 5 seconds. Will it work? Hey. Will it explode? Yes. And it turned on projector number 2. Hell yeah. Right. I've noticed the build speed for building these things are a bit lackluster. So option 1 is I redesign it to have a couple of welders. Option 2 is I shove a lot more build and repair systems just in this area just to build the missiles. Like missile build and repair systems. Which I think I might do. I've got space directly below me. Oh, I've got space around so I can overlap all here. So I might do that. Just try and get build speed as physically fast as possible. But that's good. So now we're going to set up each timer. Wait, what? Why is it? How did it build that much of a missile when that projector should have been off? That's a bit weird. It's like it still thinks that there's a projector on for it. There isn't. Oh, this isn't going to be a bug, is it? It's rebuilding it. It's cool and all, but not what I want in the slightest. That was it rebuilding. I'm so confused. Alright everybody, I am back, and I have done something. We are at a stage where something happens. Is it what I want to happen? I don't know. It uses trickery, glitches, or not trickery, but like slight bug exploits. It uses a completely different system to what I was thinking it would use, but it does work, I think. I don't know, I haven't really tested it. But overall, we're going to do... I'll probably use Spectator rather than this, and we're just going to have a little look-see of how this thing works whilst I wait for something to spawn in to test fire out. So, currently you may notice that this missile is got a hologram. So this is missile 2, for instance. It's got a hologram, but it's not building. It's not building because this merge block is currently off. And for those who didn't know, a merge block which is off cannot attach to a merge block which is on. So it's technically not got a block to attack, like to start the welding process. So for now, it'll stay idle. Once it's rotates to this position where missile 1 is currently, it will turn that merge block on, which will allow it to build. And as you can see, missile 1 has been built. And then it's just basically storage until it's ready to fire. The firing system works via using event controllers, which are looking at the rotation point of this hinge, of this rotor, sorry. So we are, if I turn the page so I actually remember how this thing works, we are looking at when it reaches 359 degrees for stage 1. For second stage, we're looking at 89 degrees, then 179, and then 269 degrees. Which, for those who are smart with maths, may notice that is 1 degree off 90, 180, 270, and 360. And that's basically just to make sure the event controller sees it and stops it in time. So, let's now go into the actual event controllers themselves. And I am event. There we go. So in stage 1, and this is basically the same for everything. So in stage 1, it starts action 1.0. It's also setting the velocity to a set amount of the main rotor, so that spinning bit at the top. And it's also locking the mag plate, which I'll show you as well. And that is the case for all of these. So the mag plates are the same. The only thing that changes is the action. So 1 to 4. So you may ask, what are the actions doing? So the actions are very simple. They are setting the launch of the missile. They are toggling the merge block off, so nothing will get built, but it's also turning on the one in front of it. Oh, like, sorry. It's turning the, merge block onto the rotation point in front. So, in this case, this one is, let's say, when this one fires, when this event controller gets to this position, that merge block, when it fires, will turn off, and the one in that position then will turn on, and it's as it rotates. The trickery I'm using here is, you may notice as this thing rotates, it's technically going to hit that camera, but none of this stuff has a collision. The camera doesn't have a collision, these lights don't have collisions, so we're all good. Oh, there's a thing to fire at! Sorry, let's fire. So, we aim our target to where we want to fire it at. Maybe a little bit in front, a little bit of that. We press the button. It turns around, it locks, and it fires. And they're going to follow it. So that missile had done a load of different things. It has turned the AI... So the AI is on a timer for 10 seconds. So once 10 seconds is up, it will... What? It's still going. So it's locked on. It locks on the target at 2.5 kilometers, I believe. So yeah, it refilled all its fuel tanks. It's set the warheads to active. It might get detonated. Yeah, it didn't make it. But it does indeed work. Don't get me wrong. This thing needs a lot of work. A lot of work. But we'll get there. So I believe I can fire another one. Let's fire another one. Let's fire 2 more off. Yeah, why not? Let's see what happens. I can basically quick fire 3 and then launch them every now and then. It's pretty cool. Just realised these might not even get within range. You know what? Let's see. It should. Hey, that one locked on. So it's currently traveling this way. You'll see when it locks on because it'll immediately turn off. And whoop, it's locked on. Missiles are cool. Missiles are very cool in this game. I need to make another tutorial on how to make good missiles because these are flipping good. Oh, that one got exploded almost immediately. The gunfire. She's too thick, sir. Okay. How many more can I? How many more should I waste? Let's fire 3 off in quick succession. These are way too fun to fire. I am going to waste a lot of resources. So you can see that's roughly how close they are. If I went to this one, they're about 200 meters apart from each other. That's not bad. I'm 100% going to make iterations of this missile, though. There's bits that I'm happy with, and there's bits I would like to improve on. Why is it slowing down? That's what I want to know. Wait, what? The missile has stopped. The missile has stopped, but it has an override. The missile still has fuel. Why? It was working? Yield rate is 100%. Why is it not getting fuel? Where's the other ones? Oh, the other ones are stopped. They're all stopped. That is weird. That is very weird. And these things can fly for a long time. Interesting. You know, that's a good question. How much hydrogen are these using? I was like, okay, we used 1% from firing off a few. That's fun. Okay. Before this video gets an obnoxious amount of length in time, I think you can see the idea I have for a turret like this. The theory is in place, so imagine this as a Mark 1. We are 100% going to upgrade from this, make it cooler, make it work better. But being able to fling missiles at enemies and be able to fling 3 at a time, basically, pretty nice. Pretty nice. Oh, okay, this took a lot more work than I was expecting to get this thing working. But, like I said, that is where we're going to end today's video. If you guys have any suggestions on how to make this missile better, please leave a comment in the comment section down below. If you haven't already, please consider hitting that like button. It helps me out more than you think it does and shows this series is one you want to see continue in the future. As always, my name's been Quantum Chief, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!